Hi, my name is Sean, and I'm a photographer. I go about my work with this idea that it seems quite stupid, but it's with this idea that photography is a medium that forces us to confront our own immediate reality as it is. And not many mediums can do that. With painting, you can paint a night sky in the daytime, but photography, you cannot. And so it's a medium that I feel is very useful for establishing a relationship with your world, with your immediate world. And as such, I use it quite introspectively to explore things that are already intimate to me to begin with. So rather than documenting outside, I try to be more introspective in my work. I've been working on this project for about slightly more than a year, and it's still ongoing. It's called Homework. It's about my family. You don't have to read this. Okay. Yeah. Alright. I try to do different things with this work. One of the things I try to do is to use it as a healing device to make my parents and my family members touch each other. And because, you know, we are from very traditional Asian family, we have no physical expression of our affection for each other. So, right. Okay, practice. Okay. So like my parents, they are hugging, and obviously this is my first time actually seeing them hug. These are all the hands of my family. This one is quite special because when I did this, they weren't talking, but they didn't know that I know that they had a fight. So, and they didn't want me to know. So I got them together to make this picture. They obliged because they don't want me to know that they are fighting. Then eventually, in the process, they started laughing. And then they started talking. Mom and Dad. This is very short, so I think you can read it. Okay. This part of the work is where I use photography as a comedic tool, and this is really the most precious part of my work to me. A lot of people feel that this is just fun and games, but then to me it's not so. I think in my own mind, I think that I'm creating something unique for them to enjoy, and in a way, using photography in this way, it feels like it's a weapon against the mundanity of life and against the downness of everyday living. And I feel like I'm creating a space, a theater where they can do like weird stuff. And I believe in the therapy of silliness and the absurd, and I believe in the therapy of laughter. And sometimes, we have to do crazy things. Or else it's just very boring every day. It's just boring. And we need to believe that everyday life, there's magic, there's magic in common things like fish. All of these were shot in my house, mostly in my room. Sometimes I watch movies and, I think that my dad can look good as an old Wolverine. Here I write that the starting point, actually I've already said this, so you don't really have to read it. After years of drinking, my dad developed this ability to float cans of beer through the air using only the power of his mind. This is about Superman. He retired, and then he just spends time with his wife, which is my mom. This is my mom. Yeah. This is a series where I start to think of my mom as some kind of heroine in the kitchen, some kind of superhero in the kitchen. And she kills like all the animals with her chopper. Okay. These bite marks, my sister left some bite marks on my hand, and this mark here is a mark that is left on my father's chest by my mom, just by pressing very hard. And So these two images are very important to me because they demonstrate something very unique about photography. I mean, these marks disappeared very quickly after the photographs were taken. I mean, they are not permanent. But the camera transformed the marks into tattoos. And this is something that is very unique about photography, is that it has this relation to death. You can fix something that is very transient forever on your camera. And it reminds me that this series of pictures that I've been doing, I will never really truly know their strength until one day when my parents are no longer around. And so these things that I do, that I keep doing, it becomes a part of our history. And you create experiences at home, which if you do enough, you create a history. And that's something that I find is very precious. And then later on, they become a kind of memory for me and for them, but especially for me, and especially when they are no longer around. This is, I wrote that. Actually, you can read it for yourself. I don't need to narrate to you. Yeah, I try to make pictures that I feel are a little bit more like medicine. How much time? Okay. So this is a spoof of a Calvin Klein ad it was originally by Mark Wahlberg. And you know, I go to town, I go to Orchard Road, and then I see these ads, like really big ads, and you know, sometimes they are very ridiculous. I mean, there's all these ideal images of men, and I mean, come on, like, nobody looks like that. I mean, when you get to my father's age, you're certainly not gonna look like that. And then most people that buy these things really don't look like that at all. But they continue to, you know, to sell these images to us, and you know, this is my own little, little protest in a way, and also to find a place for my parents in pop culture, in these kind of celebrity pop culture world. After I made this, I realized that I cannot use this image because they will probably sue my ass. So I decided to make my own brand. My father's name is Asing. So yeah, it means I have to stop it. Okay, so all of you, there are many of you here are designers, so maybe you can give me some ideas on the font that I should use. And in the future, no seriously, in the future I hope to create some bags, like shopping bags, but instead of like H&M, David Beckham bodywear, I'll have like this image on the bag or the underwear cover packaging. And also, I really hope, even though it's very difficult, that I will be able to procure like, I don't know if that's the right word, but I'll be able to get like an ad space, even if it's just for one day, to just put this ad out there and document this ad going live in for real. And that's all that I have for you. My name is Sean Lee, my email and phone number, so you can contact me.